Alright, I hope y'all can see me okay. You see that? It was funny. I won't wear it in the customer, but it says, um, our job is to haul your load, not take your crap. I'll be honest, I thought it was funny because when I used to be in trucking, um, I did drive in, like I told you. I did reefer for a little bit, but I noticed there's a difference between reefer customers and drive-in customers. Most reefer customers are actually very cool. Drive-in customers, some of them not so nice. It was funny because I was watching, was it Nightlife? Night goes and they have like their executives. Some of them people, the upper management executives, they make them go out on trips to the trucks. I think they should do that for most your driver managers, driver leaders, fleet managers, so they get an understanding, not just somebody that got out of school and they put in those positions. Um, it's like when I used to do management, I usually worked from my way from the bottom up, and it makes you, to me, a better management person um, if you're going to do that, because it makes you understand the industry. That's why I kind of like the lady I have right now, because her husband's a driver. So, in my opinion, I think she has somewhat of an understanding. I don't know if she's driven or going out with him, but it makes a difference when you have somebody who understands what you do in whatever industry it is. But they have Nightlife video, and then one of the, I think it was the HR lady, HR or payroll, one of the two, she went out with this lady driver, and I guess the customer was treating the lady driver like crap, and she the manager or the HR payroll lady, she got pissed because she had no idea. A lot of times you can go in there and be really nice. It's hailing again. Is it hailing or is that I think it's hail. So I'm at TA Petrol, y'all, and they supposed to get rain today. I'm in Wyoming, and it's getting rain. But anyway, back to my hat. That's what I was going to tell you. I finished that story real quick. So I got it because it was cute, because it reminded me back when I first used to drive in, and you had angry customers, and they treated you like crap, and you still tried to be nice. With my reefer experience, and even like when I was telling you guys a story, if y'all watch a previous video about the trailer, they had to, let me tell you the outcome of that. And I'm still going to do the women in Chucky thing. I'm going to do it later today. I promise. I'll do it when I get back to the truck. I'm going to probably do a shower. And I'm trying to decide if I'm eating here or I got subs in the cooler. I finally got to a Subway, so I bought extra subs in the cooler. I'm at Petrol in Wyoming, and there's several, but I got, where am I at? I forgot which one I'm at. Anyway, Laramie. I met Trucker Bill here back when I was working for Pride, I think it was. Yeah, when I was working for Pride. I met him here when he was doing his doubles and triples living in Colorado. He now lives in Oregon, him and his wife. But anyway, that load with the bad brakes. So my company, fabulous job. The lady I worked with, actually, I got to go and I'm asked to do a reset right after this. Well, I'm telling them I'm doing a reset right after this load that delivers in Utah. And we have a terminal in Utah, so I'm just going to go down to the terminal because it's not that far from where I'm going to drop this load, about 60 miles of that. So I'm going to go to the terminal and do my reset there, and then I also can go pick up, my doctor did miss because I'm running low on prescriptions. So I gotta get to a CVS pharmacy to pick up my prescriptions, and I looked up and there's a CVS in Utah, so in Salt Lake. So I'm gonna get there, and I don't know if they have a van, but if they don't, I'll just call Lyft and get Lyft over. If I could bobtail, I might bobtail over, but I don't want to use the hours. So if you like on your way and I see it and you can park somewhere, I can run in and do it. But I'm probably gonna just get Lyft there. I'll call it in and then get Lyft to take me over. Anyway, because I just do a round trip with Lyft, because I pretty much just want to pick my prescriptions up and go right back to my damn truck, and then do that. But anyway, back to what I was saying. So my company did fabulous with the trailer brakes. I told you the breakdown were really on it. Like I said, the guy told me 2 hours, and next time I look up, they were there. Not that he really controlled that, but they were really on it. And then the load was going to be late because there's no way. They had to actually unload. I was carrying yogurt, so they had to unload the yogurt and put it on another trailer. I won't mention the customer we were at, but the customer, phenomenal. They actually, I went in, they had sent me a message through their Qualcomm from the driver management, And breakdown and driver manager communicated, and they said, look, what I liked about the breakdown company that came out, because they hire a random company, is that the guy took pictures. Basically, he's basically saying, I don't want your company to think I'm jipping them or making up nothing. So I have pictures of how bad the brakes are on this trailer. And have the guy who I was working with call, because if the breakdown company called in, they have to sit on the same 800 number we do. So it's easier for me just to tell the person who's working on my case to, hey, contact this guy. So that's what happened. And then the driver management group for my company, they were like, hey, what's going on with this truck? We got customer waiting for that load. That's it's refrigerated is important. We got customer waiting on this yogurt load. So they told him what's going on, and the lady who worked with me, she's like, oh my God, you did such, she says, you did a good job. You did the right thing. Because, and see, she said that without saying, other drivers would have taken that load with them wheels all the way to the back, and them brakes not working. And not all of the drivers, but I know several. I know several people who would have chased that money and would have taken that broken trailer just like it was. And not a good day if you can't stop that trailer. And coming out, I had to go through New York, which New York State has a lot of mountains and hills and curves and turns, and without them brakes, it would have been not a good day. And how some people drive, I'm not. When I get in there, I kind of slow my roll on mountains. Once I get out, then I can haul butt. But if it's really mountainous, I take my time. Go around me. And it's not that I'm scared of the mountain. It's just, like I told you, I slid in a truck coming out of curves and stuff, and I just know how I respect what I drive. I respect the terrain I drive. I respect the load I carry. Because I know if it's not respected and you just think, I'm driving ahead of the truck, I can go fast. You can go fast right out the hill off that mountain. You can turn right the hell over out of that turn, whatever. But they did a fabulous job. They had me go in, talk to the customer, let the customer know what's going on, the shipper, tell the shipper, and then I gave names, and the shipper, basically, I guess dispatch also called. The shipper immediately told me, go ahead, because I could move it. It wasn't a problem. I could move the trailer. I just couldn't drive it over the road, so I could move it in the lot and stuff like that, and have enough braking power with just a tractor to brake the trailer. So they let me break the seal. I had to back it into a dock door, and they unloaded the out of service trailer onto a whole nother trailer. So I had to wait for that to happen. I was out of hours by the time all that. I was way out of hours, way before that happened. But because I had been up, like I said, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning working on this issue, and I was way past my 14 hours. And by the time we got done, I had to sleep there on the premises. Luckily enough, they had a company that would deliver to us. So I'd order food to the truck. When I get back home, I'm going to load up some stuff on here. So I always have at least something. And my cooler gets really, really cold. So I'm probably going to get some. I can't get lunch meat from the deli because that doesn't last long enough. But the other lunch meat that has a little bit more longer has preservatives in it. And some bread and stuff and put on here. I'll actually probably get tortillas because I like to do wraps. And I do lettuce and stuff. And there's Walmart. Like I could have stopped at Walmart today. I hadn't looked up what the weather is in Wyoming, and Wyoming is always. Oh, guys, I need some chapstick now. I got some in here somewhere. Wyoming is always a place that's windy. I call this the windy corridor. Always windy. It's the windy corridor. That's better. I like this stuff. Y'all ever? I don't know if y'all had this. Blistex. It's a medicated like moisturizer, and I like it. I got it a long time ago, and it was real good. I have another one that's more liquid-like. It's pretty good too. But anyway, this is like what I call the windy corridor, and I only have 17,000 in the box, so 17,000 and some change heavy in the box. So I'm not like my 34,000. So when it gets windy, they only got 10 to 15 mile an hour winds, I think is what they were saying, and some of the gusts are about that too. But you can feel it a little bit. It's not too bad, but I don't jack with wind too much. This is a light load. It's not extremely light, but it's enough to hold me down. But if we got in a 30 mile an hour gust, then this truck would be parked because it's not heavy enough for that. If I'm like 30,000 plus and it's 30 mile an hour gust, fine. once I get 50 mile an hour gusts, I shut it down. I don't mess with that. Damn sure don't mess with it empty. And will not mess with it if I'm even heavy, because 50 mile an hour can get up to more, and it'll just push the truck right over. So I shut down in high winds. But this, I call this the wind corridor. So as you're heading out of Illinois, and you get like Iowa, Nebraska, Wyoming, this is like all windy right here, especially Nebraska and Wyoming. These are like, and Wyoming is like the freaking worst. Next to, the only other place worse than that would be Kansas. Well, I don't know, man. They might be neck and neck. Kansas and Wyoming. Wyoming just is like windy freaking Wyoming. And whenever I drive this, it's always some wind. Matter of fact, that's how I ended up meeting Bill here. He was driving doubles and triples for Saya out of Colorado. I had a load coming up. Where was I going? I was coming out of Utah. I can't remember where I was going. I might have been going to the East Coast. And Bill said, where you heading? I told him where I was headed. He said, oh, you come through Wyoming? I said, yeah. And so I was on my way. I mean, literally just entering Wyoming while I was on the phone with him. And he said, where are you at? And I said, oh, I'm getting ready to cross into Wyoming. He said, how much you got on board? I said, I was going to Idaho. I think I was picking up potatoes or something. I said, I'm empty. He said, you're getting off the damn road. And he said, I forgot what the gusts were, but it was like some crazy astronomical gusts. And so I ended up here at this Petro. And I've never actually been inside this Petro. I parked here and slept here. I just never gone inside. Because every time I come to this Petro, it's some damn wind or a storm. And I'm trying to think how I slept. I slept here that night. And I don't think have I been back here since? I can't remember. I can't remember if I've been back here since. But yeah, I know this Petro, because you get to this Petro coming through Colorado, going through Miami, so you can come up. I think it's 25 or one of them. Like right now, it's raining, and I'm just sitting in the truck. But I had rain and a little bit of wind coming in. But yeah, that load thing went good. I'm in the windy corridor. They got me switched out. I delivered the load. Same day, just not. They wanted 7 o'clock in the morning, and my company contacted them and said, hey, we had problems with that trailer. They had to do a reload the trailer to a different trailer. And then the driver will be in there at this time. So I gave them an estimated time of arrival, which was, I estimated, originally I thought 3:30, which honestly, had I not had to go through Illinois and the freaking construction and having to sit on the dang freeway, I would have gotten there probably right around 3:30. But I had several places where we just stopped. Just stopped on the freaking freeway. And we stopped for a minute. And so I re-estimated I would be there at 4:30, and then I said, you know what, let's just, for wiggle room, let's do 1700. And I did 1700, and sure enough, I got in there at 4:36. And then he was the security guys told me for a number. It wasn't the number. I had the right number. He wouldn't take it till I had to call the company or contact the company via Qualcomm. And he's like, this is the number. So backed it into a door, and then they were like, oh, well, you can drop it. I said, first, I like Great Dane trailers. I'm driving a Great Dane trailer right now. Only thing is, whoever had this trailer, you can tell the handle doesn't. It needs oiling. It needs some lubrication. and I need to get some oil spray on here. I haven't got any, but I need to get me some. Anyway, I'm rolling hours, so I rolled in here. This morning, I had just about 8 hours I could use. And so as soon as I did my pre-trip, it left 7 and change. So the furthest I could go today was, how far did I drive today? I did 357.4 miles in about 6 hours and change. My own duty was 7 hours and 12 minutes. So, and I stopped and took a break just to get the extra. I had to slow down coming in because we hit construction areas and my winds start picking up with the rain. And you got a couple drivers who are, I guess, buttholes because I slow down. I don't go real fast, and you guys hauling butt through the mountain with water and stuff. Jake's on. I'm like, what the hell? But that's them, and they may have their day. Maybe they'll be lucky and never have a bad day, and never have an accident. But to me, that's like a bad day waiting to happen. And me, I just take the same. If I go up 45 miles an hour, I come down 45 miles an hour. If I go up 50 miles an hour, I come down 50 miles an hour or less, depending on what's going on. So it was raining, so I came down slow. Hazards on, just took the time coming down. So I guess he's going to try to push me off the road. Like, what in the hell is wrong with you people? But it's okay. Angry people. And then once I got out there, it was 55, 60 miles an hour. We're good. And then when it started raining, I did I was going about 50, 55. So, and my truck is governed at 60 on the pedal, 62 on cruise control. So our trucks are slow. When I was with Pride and Conway, those trucks are 65. I think both of those were governed around 65 miles an hour, if not 70. So I had some speed with those, which I kind of miss. I'm going to do the women in trucking thing, getting ready to get up, and I think I'm going to do a shower. I didn't get a shower last night, so I'm going to get a shower today. And like I said, I'm trying to decide whether I'm going to eat the sub or if I'm going to go in here and get something hot. I think I might just go head towards the shower and then I'll decide. Because Petrol, they have iron skillet, which is okay. I got a craving for liver and onions. And it's okay. It's not always the best. So, I mean, they're okay. I did a steak. Yesterday I had, what did I do yesterday? At Sap Brothers, it's Apple something restaurant, little restaurant. I was hoping for liver and onions, but they didn't have it. So I did. They had a special on, oh my goodness. Oh my God. It's beef. Oh my God, not roast beef. Prime rib. So they had a special on that. And it came with potatoes, salad bar, and soup. And so I did that. Today I don't know if that's what I want. And I don't want a steak. I had a steak. I don't know if I want chicken. They have meatloaf too. I thought about meatloaf, but I like meatloaf with tomato sauce on there. And not everybody does their meatloaf that way. But yep, let me get my shower bag together. And then when I come back to the truck later, I'll do this women in trucking thing for y'all. I think it's coming out of the Trucker is where I read it. And it talks about giving scholarships to women coming into the trucking industry. So I want to touch on that because I think that's actually a good thing to do. So hopefully that'll happen for you. Anyway, y'all be blessed and